The Galactic Council Hall had never known chaos until the humans arrived. For millennia, the chamber had stood as a beacon of order, its marble pillars stretching into the vaulted ceiling, banners of countless civilizations hanging in silent reverence. Every delegate moved with ceremony, speaking in measured tones, bound by protocols older than most of the stars they hailed from. That serenity shattered when the heavy doors burst open, nearly ripping off their hinges. A squad of humans stormed in, boots striking like thunder on polished stone, armor gleaming with scars of battle. The lead figure, Captain Elias Vance, strode forward with reckless confidence, a grin playing at the corner of his mouth as if he were entering a tavern, not the most sacred chamber in the galaxy. Gasps echoed. Dozens of species recoiled in horror. The council had not invited the humans. "Who dares interrupt the sacred assembly?" demanded Counselor Sayare, her crystalline voice ringing like chimes. "Name's Vance. We're here because you've been talking about humanity without us?" the captain replied, casually tossing a dented helmet onto the floor. "That's our ship's last pilot. Died fighting something you all conveniently forgot to mention." The council chamber fell silent. Every species present, the serpent-like Vithari, the insectoid KYRR, even the stoic stone-skinned Dravari, avoided eye contact. Finally, a Dravari elder spoke, his gravelly voice carrying weight. "It was not our place to warn you. The apex is not to be confronted. It is to be avoided." Vance laughed. "Yeah, see, that's the thing. It didn't avoid us." Whispers rippled through the hall. The apex was legend, a predator born in the void between galaxies, a thing that had extinguished fleets without a trace. Worlds abandoned entire sectors at the rumor of its presence. For eons, no species dared engage it directly. But humans? They weren't raised to run. Vance stepped forward, his voice rising. "You all call it the apex like it's a god. To us, it's just another enemy with teeth and claws. And when something bares its teeth at humanity, we bite back harder." Counselor Sayare's crystalline form dimmed in alarm. "You don't understand. It adapts. Every weapon we ever used, it absorbed. Plasma, graviton lances, antimatter warheads, it learns. You cannot win." "Maybe you couldn't," Vance countered, his eyes narrowing. "But you forgot one thing about humans: we don't fight fair. We cheat. We adapt faster than anything alive. And we don't stop until the other guy's dead." The chamber quivered with tension. No one had ever spoken to the council this way. No one had dared. Then the ground itself shook. An enormous shadow loomed across the skylight as alarms blared. The apex had found them. Its form was incomprehensible, a shifting mass of claws, tendrils, and bioluminescent eyes. It did not move like a beast but like an inevitability, flowing through space with unnatural grace. Panic erupted. Delegates scrambled. Guards shouted. Species who had ruled sectors for thousands of years shrieked like frightened children. But not the humans. Vance barked orders. His soldiers formed ranks, weapons humming with power. They had studied the apex in blood, learning every time it struck. Where others saw invincibility, they saw patterns. "Council," Vance said, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Watch closely. You're about to learn why humans are the last species you should ever underestimate." The apex tore through the ceiling, shrieking with a chorus of stolen voices from every species it had devoured. The chamber trembled, marble pillars cracking, banners bursting into flame. The humans moved like predators themselves. Instead of firing blindly, they baited the creature, forcing it into predictable lunges. Their weapons shifted modes mid-battle, cycling through frequencies and chemical payloads faster than the apex could adapt. Then came the trap. Vance himself sprinted forward, drawing its attention with a flare that blazed like a miniature sun. At the last moment, he dove clear, revealing a cluster of charges embedded in the chamber floor. Charges designed not to kill but to collapse the council's gravitic stabilizers. The apex slammed down. Gravity itself twisted, pinning the monster under a force that made the stone-skinned Dravari buckle to their knees. For the first time in its endless reign of terror, the apex screamed in pain. The humans poured fire into it, merciless, relentless. When their weapons overheated, they switched to blades. When their blades dulled, they fought with their fists. Minutes later, silence. The apex lay broken, twitching, its once terrifying eyes dimmed to nothing. The chamber reeked of ozone and blood. The council delegates stared in stunned silence as Vance wiped ichor from his armor. He looked around, meeting their terrified gazes. That's humanity's secret. We don't worship monsters. We kill them. And in that moment, the galaxy realized humans had not just crashed the council. They had claimed their place as the predators of predators.